Hello and welcome back to my garage here in Car Mechanic Simulator 2018. As you can see, I've been puttering around in my off time. First I picked up this Bolt Reptilia S in the junkyard, and I completely went through it and redid it. It has the only thing I really did different was I chromed the rims because I thought they would look nice. It has the same engine that it came with, which is a V8 6P, and I tested it out at 609 horsepower, so it's pretty grunty. It's a nice looking car. They go together really easily. It has very little in the way of body parts. Of course, this is one of the in-game, base game cars. So we can go ahead and get rid of this. And it's about 90 grand. Yeah. I still have the 928 to work on. I'll talk about that other one in a minute. This thing over here is... I went to the salon, and I bought this car in the salon. It was the first time I've done it. And the only reason I bought the car in the salon was to get the achievement for buying a car in the salon. This has 0 mileage, you'll notice. And they come 100%. I mean, they're perfect. You don't need to do any work on them. But it's all normal parts. It's like if you look here, it doesn't have the red coils, and it doesn't have the shiny exhaust manifold or the shiny alternator. This particular mod doesn't have any exhaust pipes, or I would have swapped those out already. Doesn't have an air filter to swap out. The throttle, I think. Basically what I would need to do, and what I'm trying to decide if I really want to go to this trouble, would be to take the engine out and swap out everything for performance parts that is possible to swap out. I don't know if I want to do that. That seems like a lot of effort. And I don't even know if I really want this car anyway, so I don't know if I'm going to go that far. But we'll see. I'm still cogitating over that idea. The 928, I cosmetically fixed it up. It still needs to be finished. I just haven't really been motivated to work on it so much. This car is a Porsche Panamera, which I found in the junkyard, and I have also cosmetically fixed this car up. It needs the full rebuild. I am, oops, am I not in the... There. I thought I was in the wrong mode, but I guess not. Anyway, this car is one that I've actually seen somebody driving one of these around in real life. I mean, from the front it looks like, it looks like a Porsche, and from the back it looks like some kind of sedan with a hatchback. I don't know. But I'm kind of debating working on this car. But I also want to go to the junkyard too, because I haven't been in the game for a day or two now. And I really feel like hitting the junkyard real quick, so we're going to do that. Okay, here we are. Don't see anything off the bat. Is that really another one of those Porsches? It is. Good lord. And what are you? This is a Maserati. Oh no, it's not. Royal Crown. I thought it was. I got excited there for a second. Thought it was a Maserati Quattraport. Let's see what else is here. Looks like a Skyline. Nismo Z-Tune. Not super familiar with this one. And this is, of course, a Reptilia R2. It's not the supercharged one. There's another Reptilia drag race car. I see a Bolt Atlanta over there. Bolt Atlanta F-Mill. So there's a couple of cars here I think I'm going to go ahead and pick up. This Skyline I have not seen before. Nismo Z-Tune. I don't know. Honestly, I don't think it's gonna right fender C. Does that say? I can't read it. Right fender B. So the only difference between this and the standard one is the fender. Front bumper C. Front right fender B. What is that? Oh, it's the... no. Front bumper has got kind of a air dam. Front right fender. Oh, I see. Okay. You know what? I think this is going to end up looking pretty much just like the standard one, so I'm not going to bother with this one right now. I am going to buy that other Porsche Panamera, though. So 23,000, value is 16,000. Alright, let's go ahead and head back now. Okay, so this is kind of a unique situation because I have this car is what that car looked like when it came in. So we can just go start working on this one. I don't think I'm going to do both of them at the same time. Those tend to run really long, and I actually haven't worked on this car before, so I don't even know what it looks like underneath. Besides the cosmetic rebuild I've done, I think I swapped out the fuel tank, and that's it. So they built this on a four-wheel drive, some four-wheel drive chassis. Because I don't know, I'm pretty sure this car doesn't actually have a V8 in it in real life. But it's not the same all-wheel drive system that's in like the Porsche 911 Carrera 4S and the big Porsche Carrera GT isn't all-wheel drive. So this is an all-wheel drive setup from something else. Except that engine is going to clip through that when it's complete. Is there anything in there? There's a head on it. There's heads on it, so there's pistons in it. I'm not sure which engine is actually in this car. I didn't look. If it's the supercharged V8, we'll have to think about that one. Is that sway bar B? It is. Try to remember that when I go to buy my replacement parts. Okay, let's start clearing out the junk. Get what we need. We already know that this particular rear end takes 16 bushings, 8 of each. And we'll flush the brakes here too. I'm gonna go ahead and get. I bought 2 of those. I don't even know how that happened. Oh, I see. Have my finger on the arrow key. Okay, so we can get all of our rear spring stuff. That's rear shock A. Okay, let's get our sway bars. And what do I need for hubs? Hub 3. So that was rear B and 2 of these things. And it was just the rear wheel hub. 2 3s and 2 bearings. So what else do I need now? Okay, the rest of this stuff we can attempt to repair. I think I'm just going to buy new rims. We didn't even get to repair the drive shaft, I don't think. Yep, no drive shaft. Oh, it was the curved one. I should have remembered that. I lost it in my head. And it was knuckle A, wasn't it? Okay, so those are 20-inch 991 rims. And these are sport tires, but I'm not going to use. I'm going to put race tires on it. 295 35 20. Okay, 295 35 20. So I matched the size of the wheel. So I can flush those now. Alright, now we can go reassemble the back end. This rear end, I think, is the most complicated one. I mean, it's the most complicated one to assemble of the 3 possible rear ends that you can have in this game. But I think it's also the most satisfying. Once it's put together, it's all... because it's intricate and it's complicated, but it's really satisfying when it's all done. And the metal, you got nice shiny new metal on it. It looks really good. It's kind of it's the kind of thing that keeps me making these that keeps me doing these cars, because they just look so good when they're done. You take that rusty pile of junk and build it out, and it looks beautiful afterwards. It's the whole reason for doing it. That's why the Junkyard is by far, for me at least, the most compelling portion of the gameplay. I did a couple of nights ago. I don't remember now exactly. I jumped on and did a whole bunch of customer orders, and I racked up some more cases. So I have like 8 cases in my inventory that I need to open, and so we're likely to get more barn find maps out of that. So I'm going to need to start doing some of those to clear them out, because anything beyond the ones that I normally keep, because like I've explained before, I like to keep the 3 rows worth of them, because it makes a nice buffer between new parts and old new parts that I've purchased and old junky parts or repaired parts. It makes a nice, it keeps a nice buffer of between those two, so I can tell what I need if I need a given thing, which is why I like to keep those. But anything beyond that I use. Plus, generally speaking, in my experience, the barn finds are not that exciting. I mean, I've gone to a lot of barns and bought no cars, and just go there, find the case, and leave. But occasionally you find something useful. And there's some things that I think are only found. They're not found in junkyards. They're found either like at auction or in the barn. So I think that's where you get like the DeLorean time machine. So I have to keep looking and hopefully find one of those one day. There's our magical steering knuckle floating in the air. Let's get the engine crane moved over here. We're going to need that. In fact, we might as well just go ahead and not put that there. Go there. Thank you. And let's go ahead and yank out that pile of rust. No, let's leave that there. I was going to move it back, but that's dumb. Okay, so 12 bushings. And the brakes, the tie rods and the rack. Okay, and the sway bars, that was sway bar B, wasn't it? Yeah, they're all sway bar B. What am I down to now? Suspension arm, drive axle. Let's get the parts for the double wishbone put together. Let's see, 20-inch 991s again. Okay, 255 40 20. And that was oddly difficult to do there for some reason. $255.40.20, $255.40.20, correct. I guess I should hit the repair table too, huh? I don't think we got that cross member. Cross member C, front drive axle A. Perfect, that was everything. Now we can get the front end assembled. really starting to look like something now, isn't it? Though something just occurred to me. I know I yanked a transmission out of this thing. I could have sworn I did. Yeah, gearbox V8. I honestly don't remember selling it. I mean, I have to have sold it because I remember taking the drive shaft off and taking the transfer case off and then taking the gearbox off and then taking the clutch parts off. So what in the hell did I do with the original transmission that was in this thing? Because I, honest to God, can't remember selling it, whether it got repaired or not. It would have been when I was doing the rear end pieces. Phew, I'm going to have to go to the tape and look. That is so bizarre. Okay, let's break out of here for a moment, and I'm going to get rid of these things because I know I'm not going to be able to repair them. I'll just try to repair the timing cover. And I know that this particular engine takes 2 of these and 5 of these. Crank V8. And the timing V8. It's got the 2 timing belts and the cam gears. Gonna need alternator and power steering pump V8. Engine head V8. Camshaft V8, spark plugs and coils. And pistons. 'Cause all that stuff that's in there is going to get thrown away. Because these camshafts and these heads that are here are going in the trash. Because those are all going to be performance parts. I don't think I bought a fuel filter, so I need to get one of those. There's no spark plugs in here. Go ahead and nuke this and this and this and those 3. And now, are there any rod caps or crankshaft caps? No. So that means I need 8 rod caps and 3 crank caps. And oil V8. this is basically going to leave us with 3 parts that we can potentially reuse. The timing cover, the block, and the crankshaft. I'm not hopeful on any of these. Well, the crankshaft is 14%, so maybe we might be able to repair these, but chances are we might not get them all. Nope, not get any of them at all. So we are building this engine from scratch. Timing cover, engine block, and crankshaft. Block B8. I wonder what that would look like. So let's get rid of the junk, and now we can start assembling this thing. I still am amused by the fact that the clutch assembly clips through the mounting plate here on the engine stand. I don't know. Thinking about it, it's possible that it might be meant. You might be meant to install the clutch assembly when the engine is in the car, rather than before you put the engine in the car. But in this context, it doesn't make any sense to me to do that. Oh, I need to buy the exhaust manifold for the V8 as well. That's just manifold V8. I can't remember which engine this is. DOHC 4x4. Honestly, don't even know which intake manifold that takes. Okay, that one. They don't have this manifold here, but they do have... It does take the throttle V8, which I can get from here. Oh, and the fuel rails, I'm going to need those. Engine head covers. As I think about things, more stuff keeps coming to mind. Okay, starting to come together nicely now. I didn't buy any belts. I'm going to need belts and a belt tensioner and a water pump pulley and a water pump for that matter. Serpentine Belt V8, A and B, belt tensioner. And I think it's going to be A and B. Engine head cover A and B. I think it's going to be these. I guess we'll find out. You can always tell if an engine is going to have a fan attached to the front of it. If you install the water pump pulley and you put bolts in it, then it's not going to take a fan. That was one thing. That was one shortcut that that was one indicator that I learned early on. The difference between building a OHV and a DOHC or OHC engine. It was the wrong one. Damn it. C and D instead of A and B. Honestly, don't know what the difference is. It looked the same to me. I think this is actually like the Jeep engine from like the Jeep Wrangler maybe, or no, it's DOHC 4x4. I swear I should know what this engine and drivetrain is in, but I cannot think of it at the moment unless it's an in-game car, like one of the Caster Avalanches or something. The Bolt Grand something or other that I'm forgetting. Looks like it's all there though. I wonder if I'm going to have to take that out. I bet I'm going to have to take it out to... Nope, there it is. I saw it for a second. Come on. That's another one I somehow didn't replace. I cannot remember. I mean, I remember taking it off, but I don't remember repairing it or getting rid of it when it didn't repair, so I honestly don't know what happened to it. That's so weird. You can see this stuff doesn't match up. Look at that. This front drive shaft just protrudes right through there. And I don't think the drive shaft is connected back there either. Oh no, it is. I thought there might be a gap between it, but there isn't. Well, that should be 100% though. Yeah, perfect. Oh, damn it. Forgot. Watch the car go up and down. Watch the car go up and down. Okay, so let's see. I mean, this is a sedan. It's not a sports car per se. So, I mean, it's going to be upgraded. 309, but it's a four-wheel drive, so even with all that much power built into it, I mean, we should get a pretty significant increase, but I don't know. I don't know how much power it's going to give us on the road. .46. Honestly, 309 seems a bit underpowered for a car of this size. But then, what did I say it was? 546? That might be a bit much. So here we have before and after. I like this color. I mean, I don't have any interest in keeping this car for myself, but I like the color. This almost kind of seems, especially when you look down here where you can't really see anything there. And this must be a car with a flappy paddle gearbox too. Truly hate that kind of thing. I don't see a clutch. I think that thing on the left is just a footrest. And it's got the flappy paddle shifters there. Blah. Not something I enjoy. Looks like about 190,000. No, 188,000, 189,000. Let's give it a drive and see what it can do. God, I have like too many cars in here again. Alright, here we are. It's almost plum colored out here in this light. I liked it better in the garage than I do out here. Let's see what we can do with this car. Doesn't really look like much, to be honest. I mean, it's going 160 miles an hour now, but it doesn't look that exciting. 170, 174. Up. When it took control away from me past the finish line, it horked off to the side like that. So 174 maximum speed, and you shouldn't ever need to drive a car like this that fast anyway, unless you're like Jason Statham in the Transporter. Alright, well that's good. We're done with it. Let's go back. Okay, so we have... I kind of cheated it a little bit because I got a junker here and I've got one that was already being worked on, so I kind of compressed the process a little bit, but you see what this... Boy, the game just froze on me there for a second. I'm sorry about that. I was about to say that you can see what it looked like when it came out of the junkyard and what it looks like when it's completely finished. This one I think is the factory color and this one is black. Yeah. And this one is a better color, but either way I don't want to keep it, so 189. Yep, 189,000. Poof. Okay, so I still need to finish that 928, and I still need to decide what I want to do with this car. I don't even like these wheels that it came with, but I don't know if I'm motivated to take it and put different wheels with different tires on the thing. I really, like I said, I just bought this car to get the Steam achievement for buying something from the salon. I didn't. There were actually like 3 cars in there that I could have bought, and I bought this one. And I don't particularly even want to have it, so I still have to decide if I'm going to do the project on it that I'm thinking or not. But anyway, that's for another time, so we'll go ahead and wrap it up here. So if you made it this far, thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope to see you again for our next visit to the junkyard. So on that note, bye for now.